DJ Badger coming at you live with Dad Influence.
I'm gonna pull a Badger impression right quick.
Go on and try it, Freddy.
I'm doing Badger right now.
Hey man, I'm gonna have to mute that out of the podcast.
You know you don't edit shit.
I'm gonna have to edit that out of the podcast. Oh no, I won't be able to because some of the stuff that we're talking about is while you're crunching. No, I'm doing a you impression.
Hey, because I'm
doing a Juju impression.
You know I'm right.
Nagging about the podcast.
Man,
we got like 5 people listening to us.
So,
Yeah. That is true. One day we'll have millions of followers.
I think it's
7 billion listeners.
And then once we get to 7,000, I'll be like, yeah, we actually made it, you motherfucker.
People are going to be literally putting headphones on their bellies so fetuses can listen to our podcast while they're developing.
Those poor bastards.
That's how. Like, have you ever seen Bill and Ted?
It's been years. I haven't seen that.
We're
shit
going to be
since
the Bill and
4.
Ted of podcasting. Wild stallions. We're going to bring world peace through podcasting.
So you telling me we're going to be washed up actors after a couple good movies?
Yes.
Afterwards? Right.
And but one of them is not washed up. One of them is Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
You didn't think about that, did you?
I don't know. For some reason I got Wayne's World and fucking Bill and Ted fucking mixed up for some reason.
Yeah, dude. The other guy, I don't think he's really washed up. I'm sure he's in some things.
No, I was like, I got
the like the one guy is literally Keanu Reeves, dog. He's John Wick.
Oh yeah.
He can't exactly call him washed up.
No, I'm sorry. I got Wayne's World and Bill and Ted mixed up.
My man was fucking Neo, dog.
Yeah.
It's Neo.
Speaking of Neo. You watching Matrix 4, bro?
Huh?
You watching Matrix 4?
Of course.
Yeah, I told my girlfriend I'm watching it with or without you.
For real.
Right.
We can do it. We can do a review episode on Matrix 4.
It sucked. I don't understand shit. Then I'm gonna come back like.
I've seen all of the Matrix movies.
I read all of the fucking.
Do you know it's like a legitimate theory of like a legitimate origin theory? Like people actually believe that legitimately. Like before the Matrix movie was a movie.
I know.
Like they made the movie after a theory that actually existed.
I mean, if you really read into like the whole lore of the Matrix and the whole philosophy of the Matrix and shit, it's a lot fucking deeper, bro. No, but personally, I don't think the movies did a good job of conveying.
What I also think is funny is when people think like the red pill, blue pill thing is like a Republican, Democrat, or something like that.
No,
it's like, dog, no, red pill means woke, blue pill means sleep. Because if you take the blue pill, you get to go back to sleep and forget it all ever happened. And, return to Neverland. But if you take the red pill, you wake up and you see how deep the rabbit hole goes. That's the...
Or you can take it from the incel route.
And
blue pill, beta male, who fucking doesn't know there's a problem in the dating world. Red pill, who... They have
people that come out with the white pill, black pill, which is black pill is stay negative and think nothing will ever be fixed, and then white pill is being optimistic about being able to fix it, even though it's fucked.
Yeah. I mean, can we just, can we not categorize shit in pills, man?
Right.
Like,
hey, man, that's our generation. We're all addicts.
No, we have to be.
There's got to be a pill for everything.
There has to be a fucking word for everything, bro.
But the red pill was a tracker, so they could track you down track your program down in the Matrix, and eject you. That's what it was for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you remember.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So they had to give you the power. They had to give you the pill so that way it could track you down and eject you out of the Matrix. Yeah. And the blue pill just knocked you the fuck out. It made you forget some shit.
I mean, what if you've been taking the blue pill all this time and you didn't know it, man?
You know?
You could be taking the blue pill all this time and you wouldn't know. Did.
Remember?
Yeah.
In the first movie, yeah, he took the blue pill, but it didn't matter because they still came after him.
Mm-hmm.
He said, fuck this, I'm going to just be a computer programmer.
I feel you.
And I ain't even mad at him.
And now in the new one, now he's harfing down blue pills. Just harfing. Yeah, you didn't see the trailer?
No.
He had like a whole fucking prescription of blue pills.
I haven't even seen the trailer for this.
Bro, you haven't seen the fucking trailer?
No, I haven't.
People are already breaking it down. I just literally watched like a 45-minute video of people breaking down the trailer.
How long is the trailer?
2 minutes.
Golly, dog. You got 45 minutes to break down every detail of a 2-minute trailer, man. Dog. Y'all are ready for this movie. I'm glad.
Look, man, there's Matrix fans, and then there's hardcore Matrix fans. I'm on the hardcore side. Like, I've seen more video essays that are longer than the fucking trilogy together.
That's true.
I mean, because it's in-depth and shit. It's very... It makes you really think. It's very interesting. You can see a lot of... It's scary how a lot of overlap is in it and shit. Yeah. And hell, I don't know, is that religious neither.
Hell yeah, dude. Like, this is something that that's the thing which brings us to our episode. Our episode is going to be a red pill moment for a lot of people.
No.
I think. Because I think a lot of people are going to start to realize how a lot of this shit works.
Money's bullshit.
Dude, it's all a game, and we're all, it's a big club, and none of you are in it.
Look, I personally, I don't see how people haven't seen that over the years.
Well, because they make it intentionally complicated, right? Mm-hmm. People look at finance and they go, "Oh, that's really complicated, and it seems like it's hard to understand." Mm-hmm. Somebody will have to go over it deeply, and it's not something I would use every day. It's kind of like nuclear science. Nobody goes and looks into nuclear science because it seems like it's complicated and it's not something you would use every day. So it's easy to hide things in that area, if that makes sense.
I want you to go ahead with your whole rant about it before I say my piece.
Okay.
Because I have
All right, let me explain to you what money is. Okay? So, think about it. What is the actual value of money? Why do we actually need money? Money originated as a unit of account, right? And a store of value, right? So, if I were to grow a bunch of corn, right? And you were to grow a bunch of wheat, right? You wouldn't need all of my corn, and I wouldn't need all of your wheat. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So maybe I need more wheat than you have need for corn from me. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? So instead of me giving you all wheat, instead of me giving you all corn, I give you a little bit of corn and a little bit of gold, and then get a lot of wheat from you. Does that make sense? Amen. And you will take the gold because you know anybody wants gold.
Yeah.
Right? So, there's a big principle of what money is in that. And a lot of money's value comes in what it was worth yesterday. Right? It's a little principle of money. So how do you know how much gold is worth how much corn or wheat? Right?
Yeah.
How do you know? Well, I know what it was worth yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Or I know what it was worth the day before. Like, if I was to try to sell you a pen, right? And you were wanting to buy a pen, what would you base your decision on how much to give me for the pen? What you saw a pen was worth last you checked.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if I was saying $5 for the pen, you'd be like, hell no. Dude, last I checked, a pen was not that expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like when you go to the gas station for your boy. You say, yeah, I'll pay you back.
Right. Exactly. And if he comes back with some ridiculous-ass number.
And you forget the price is like, oh, I remember last time. It was like $1.25 or something. Shit.
Right. Exactly. So that's kind of the yesterday principle of money. The reason we see value in money is because it had value yesterday.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it kind of goes back. So if you go back to the origin of money, then the value didn't come out of nowhere. The value usually was some kind of commodity like gold or anything. It could be anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be gold, but it had to be something that had value and didn't perish.
Mm-hmm.
So it had value to pretty much everyone, and it didn't go bad. It had a store of value, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we come fast forward to today and look at the money that we have in dollars. The dollars do not store value, right? Because of inflation, you actually lose. If you were to take $100 and put it in the bank, right? Even if you put it in the savings account with the dividends, you would lose money holding it in savings based on the inflation rate. Mm-hmm. And that is intentional. You cannot save your way into another class the way it's set up. The only way for you to move would be for you to buy an asset like a house, stocks, things of that nature. You have to buy assets that store value better than money. That's why a lot of people call our money fiat, because it is. It isn't even real money if you think about it, because it has no store value. If there's no store of value, then it's not a money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The money is set up in such a way to create a consumerist situation. So if you actually go and you look at the deep situation of how it works, the money is built in such a way that it makes you have to spend it. Or in some way, whether it be buying a house or buying assets of some sort, or buying the basic needs that you need.
Yeah.
So if you go to the petrodollar, this is something that's very important to the whole situation. You'll start to realize where a lot of the issues around the world have actually come from. It makes things a little bit crazier, because it's like you go and you look. Oil is traded in dollars, right? Which creates an artificial demand for dollars. So because oil is traded in dollars, people have to buy dollars to buy oil, right? Yeah. So as oil is a big commodity, right? It's basically, we've kind of de facto set it up to where our dollars are backed by oil. The reason why that's bad is because, number one, people need oil for energy, and number two, that's part of the reason why everybody's like, it's the fossil fuel lobby, it's this and that. No, dog. Mm-hmm. The whole house of cards is set up on the fact that the oil is bought in dollars, and everybody's energy comes from oil. As people's energy doesn't come from oil, then it's not bought in dollars. That's going to start to collapse our currency. Mm-hmm. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's part of the reason why our currency has been stronger for recently, was because we found a lot of oil in America that we were able to use.
Yeah.
So as we were able to use this oil in America, it started to strengthen the dollar, because the dollar was actually backed by that oil sales that were actually being enforced, being sold in dollars, because we were selling them ourselves. Mm-hmm. But that's a lot of the reason why we go over to the Middle East. It's the reason why we were attacking Venezuela. It's the reason why we have all these issues with, all over the Middle East and all of that. It's because these people are talking about selling oil and things other than dollars. Mm-hmm. People think that we can take and not spend money on the military and be able to spend money on, say, healthcare or X, Y, and Z. That's not true. We could not do that. If we ceased enforcing our financial policy on the rest of the world, then our money would probably collapse very quickly. That's why a lot of people are pushing for Bitcoin and things of those nature. Because Bitcoin is decentralized and there is no government that can control it. There's no government that can sit there and inflate it and print it into hell. Mm-hmm. So, this to me is a big important episode because I think a lot of people don't really understand how it actually is set up in a way that makes it where it looks like there's mobility, but there isn't.
So is it kind of like some of those mobile games and shit, right? They have like 5 different types of currency, right?
Right.
Like a currency you can just get by attacking dungeons or whatever, doing missions. And then a rarer currency where you only get about like a lot of legendary or premium shit. You know what I mean? And then you have that one big currency that everyone fucking hates that you get it super rarely, maybe once every season or some shit. Or the other way you can get it is spending like $5 to get more of it. It's something like that, right? Now, if I go to a regular merchant and shit, he would just want my goat. But if I want to go to a premium merchant, he would want my...
No, not necessarily. So it's kind of like this. It's like the only thing that you need is not corn and wheat. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And whatever I make, I might not need as much of what you have. So instead of me carrying around a shitload of fucking wheat to try to find somebody else to offload my wheat to that I didn't need, because say I made a fucking saddle for your horse. Yeah, that's a lot of wheat. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to sit here with 80 bushels of wheat and trying to figure out how to fucking sell 80 bushels of wheat. Mm-hmm. So instead, I'll take a couple of bushels of wheat and the rest in gold. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that way I can take gold and go to the corn guy and buy some corn, take gold and go to the, eggs, the guy with chickens and buy eggs and chicken breasts, and then go to the, you know what I'm saying? It's a store of value. And then later on, when we started to industrialize things, it became, your wage would be in money. So that way you didn't get whatever. But back in the day, you might not do that. You might get a little bit of wheat and a little bit of money.
So it's kind of like the old West and shit, when like some people will like go out to work and shit, they might get paid in a little bit of coin, but that same place might have like a house for them, a little...
Right, exactly. So you might not always get paid in money back then. And like I said, things were a little weirder in that situation. But at the end of the day, it was all agreed upon.
It was still free. It was still fair trade. Like,
it was a fair trade. Like, it was how we did things. And money really was more of a, like I said, money actually originated as more of a unit of account. It was a way of saying... Because if I worked hard to maintain my field all year, right, that was labor that I worked hard to get. Yes. And I want to use that labor. It's really what I'm worried about. So, I don't care about the corn. I care about the labor it took to get that corn.
So let's put
and I want to be compensated for it.
Let's put in like a modern example. You know what I mean? So I go to Walmart, right? And... let's say, give me something I make, something like that. Like, they just use corn. You want a modern example? I got one for you.
It'd be like if you went
to or something like that.
If when you went to Walmart and you went and bought the new video game, the new video game is $60. Mm-hmm. You get paid. Say you get paid $20 an hour, right? Just to have it easy numbers, right? Then you looked at it and said, this took me 3 hours to be able to earn. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's kind of the way that money was intended to work, right? So if you took 3 hours to earn that money, right, then that would be your 3 hour money, right? You put 3 hour money in the bank currently, right? Yeah. If you're talking about dollars, 3 hours of money, whatever your 3 hours of money is, you put it in the bank, you wait 2 years, it will not be 3 hours of money anymore. It'll be 2, maybe 1 hours of money. Mm-hmm. That's inflation.
Yeah,
that's inflation. The problem. You're literally stealing money from the poor without them even realizing.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about like a modern version of what you were talking about with the wheat and corn and
right. But what I'm trying to point out here is this is how the money is all unbalanced, right? Yeah. If you're rich, no rich man like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and stuff, they don't have fucking all those billions and billions of dollars in the bank.
No, they
because
have
if they
in,
did,
like,
it would all be gone. They have it in real estate, stocks, things like that, assets of some sort, some kind of way to make the money. They turned it into money.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it's not money currently. A house is more money than money is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point that I've made to my, a lot of my family and a lot of my friends that I've explained Bitcoin to, is I've said that, if you think about it, Bitcoin is better money than a dollar. And the proof is that it's worth more than a dollar.
Yeah.
Think about that. It's not only is it worth more than a dollar, it's worth what, $50,000 or $30,000, somewhere between there.
Bitcoin's a quarter. It's more than a quarter now.
What?
Bitcoin. Not Bitcoin. Dogecoin.
Yeah, Dogecoin.
Yeah, it's more than a quarter.
And that's kind of my point.
I think I'm picking up.
When it's surpassed a dollar, it means it has a better store value than a dollar.
Yeah. So
you know what I'm saying? And think about this: if I take and put $1 in Dogecoin, and tomorrow I have $1.50.
Yeah. Right.
Which is, if I were to sell that same Dogecoin, I'd have $1.50.
Yeah.
Then the Dogecoin is a better store of value. It's a better money than the dollar is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, I get what you mean. I'm just
because
trying to
get the value is not only store, it's appreciating.
Yeah, but no, I'm just trying to get how, because I think I can get how it can work in a modern sense.
Right.
You know what I mean?
See, but the point is a lot of people on other side of economics, because economics is very political. Mm-hmm. The other side of it would say that, inflation is good for the poor because it makes their debts worth less. No, it doesn't, because the interest rates raise with that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And you'll never see inflation at high enough rates to overcome the interest that these people are paying on their loans or whatever and whatnot. Number one, and number two, their wages are not increasing with inflation, so they're losing more of their money to pay for other things. So if you actually look at it, inflation hurts everybody.
Yeah.
But to be real, it hurts the poor the most because the rich are able to put their money in assets that are actually become money then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's all an illusion.
It's like the housing market right now. So.
Yeah, right. Because you just exit because the good money chases the bad money out. That's just the way it works.
Yeah.
So so instead of putting the money, that's why all this money is going into stock markets and real estate, and that's why real estate is almost always a good investment. Why? Because the money is garbage.
Yeah, McDonald's is not a restaurant chain. You know that, right?
Right. McDonald's makes most of its money from real estate, selling or renting out the actual properties that these people use to make McDonald's in. Mm-hmm. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the real estate is a better market to make money. It's a impossible to lose money market. That's the reason why when those guys shorted out the housing market when everything was about to blow, everybody looked at them like they were idiots. Mm-hmm. Because they were like, dude, this is crazy. It's a for sure. Like, it's always a for sure market. It's fucking houses. Mm-hmm. Because, like I said, that's how these guys, are able to stay rich while nobody's able to make money in a regular economy. This is how the money works. If you guys look into this, I'm telling you, it will blow your mind. It's insane. Mm-hmm. We're literally bombing people to make sure that our money doesn't fail.
It's like, I get it. I get it. It's just when I listen to it and stuff, it takes me a minute to really understand it. Because
it's complicated.
Like, it's complicated. And I can... And this is from a person that actually reads it.
I'm really trying to dumb it down as much as I can because I know it's super complicated.
You think to talk about... I know a little more about economics than the average Joe, though, still.
Right.
That's the thing. You know what I mean? I get it. It's just... I'm trying to see how it... Like, I can see it working, but I don't see how we can slowly transfer over. You know what I mean? Like that's the part I'm trying to see. You get what I mean? I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible and shit. I'm just saying.
Well, the way you do it is you know what I mean? No, the way you do it is the good money chases the bad money out.
Yeah.
Right. So like, whenever you get paid, like that guy I was showing you earlier, whenever you get paid and you have a cash balance left over, you got done paying your bills, save that shit in Bitcoin. Save that shit. No, it doesn't matter what costs right now. Buy it. It'll be a better store of value than the dollar will. That's all that matters. If it is not losing value at a faster rate than the dollar is, then it's better than the dollar. Whatever it is. It doesn't have to be Bitcoin. It can be a stock. It can be whatever it is. If you see something that has a steady trend up and it's outpacing inflation, then it is a better value than saving in dollars. If the poor were to start to realize that, a lot of poor people were to start to realize that would screw a lot of shit up. That is the part of the reason why they're going after the unrealized capital gains. And that's the reason why the GameStop shit. Yeah. See, what people don't realize is that's the game with this unrealized capital gains. So if I get taxed on all my Bitcoin that I hold on Robinhood, right, then I might have to sell some of my Bitcoin, causing a predictable dip in the market when everybody has to pay taxes. Yeah. Do you understand how that benefits the ultra rich who have the capital, who can liquidate the capital to go after that? Whereas we might be taking the L from having to sell off our assets to pay these taxes. That is the point.
It's nothing new.
Like, you're literally cheering on Wall Street's manipulation of the stock market. And they don't even realize it.
It's nothing new, though.
Because it's insane. Like, these people don't have any knowledge of economics, and they're going, well, why are you defending billionaires? It's like, no, you are, dipshit. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not defending billionaires. You are. You're trying to create a predictable downturn in the stock market. Literally a dip that everyone can see coming with a hedge fund. Making them millions of dollars so they can give you a little, couple $1,000 in unrealized gains tax? It's all to fuck you and not the other guys, right? Yeah. It's like the gas tax. I was pointing that out before. It's like, I have to pay the gas tax. You have to pay the gas tax. The semi-trucks that are driving up and down the road, they're deducting that from the rest of their taxes.
I can, but who's going to keep all those receipts? I mean, I don't have an accountant.
Right, but if you did, you could deduct that from your taxes. So, like I said, it's all set up in such a way to where, the old saying, the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor.
That's what I've been doing the past few days. If I found a coin and shit that's been doing pretty stagnant, right? And like any fucking penny, coin, wise and shit, I just put that bare minimum in to get in. I don't have Bitcoin. What am I?
It doesn't have to necessarily be a Bitcoin. It's any kind of
currency. No, I'm just saying, period. If you can find a coin that is at least, hell, even more than the fucking penny, because the penny's gonna, I don't even see how the penny's still alive, bro. Just hang on a fucking thread. You know what I mean? If you could find a coin that's more valuable than that, I would invest in it. Like any dollar amount.
That's not what I'm saying, and it doesn't. It's not about what it's worth today. That's another thing. That's not what I mean. If you can buy 100 of them and make it $1, like you said, it's worth a penny, and those 100 hold their value better than $1 does.
Yeah,
it's still a better currency. It's not about. It's not about what it's worth today.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Versus $1.
No, I'm just saying,
it's about whether it's holding the value.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. If I could find one that's been holding or been like stagnant for a while, and
stagnant or a slow, steady up is good too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean,
but you don't want something that's up and down, up and down, up and down.
No,
And when I say up and down, up and down, up and down, everything goes up and down, up and down.
Yeah,
up
I'm
and
talking
down
about
a
like
little bit.
Those big
but
dips.
But if you look at the trend, and the trend looks like it's kind of swaying upward, then that's the guy you want to rock with.
Yeah, if it goes down and shit, make sure it'll stay down. Well, debatably. I never forget when Doge was almost 75 cents, man.
But I think Bitcoin is really a good one, just simply because it has that kind of a meme power. Mm-hmm. Like everybody knows what Bitcoin is, so Bitcoin's going to hold the value.
I'm investing in Bitcoin.
Ethereum is the same thing. Mm-hmm. Dogecoin is probably a good bet. It's got a lot of meme value.
Yeah, get safe bet.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying is a lot of the other ones are a toss-up on whether you're going to have value with it.
Oh, yeah. Well, checking your stocks too now. The other internet giving us pornography and stuff.
But that's what I'm saying. It's just like, I don't even make a whole lot of money. I don't even have a whole lot of money in stocks. It's just a couple of $100. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, but as you save more money, man, I think that's the route for everybody. Mm-hmm. You got to do that. It's a way to save your money.
Yeah, you can make something out of it later.
Right. And you don't have to worry about inflation eating every bit of the savings that you're making.
Yeah. I put $50 in some stocks like over the past 2 weeks.
Right, because not everybody can just turn around and buy a fucking house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people might have to do a little savings of money. Mm-hmm. Some people might not have the credit to do that. You know what I mean? And if you want to be able to save that money, it's not like you can't work at a job and save up the money to buy a house. It's not possible.
Yeah, man.
Just save up your nickels and dimes until you buy a house. That's impossible.
I mean, that's all you really... Man, see, here's my thing, man. The way you want to beat the rich and the powerful and shit is getting money.
Abusing the same system they're abusing.
Making money.
The best way you can do it.
Like, for real. Like, don't play this game of whose side you're on and shit like that, because it's just all fabricated, right?
Money is exponential, right? The way that everything is set up is everything is exponential. If you have a lot, you can make a lot. If you have nothing, it's really hard to make something. So while you're out there and you have nothing, you need to work. Take that money when you get done at the end of the week, and you need to take and buy just one stock. Go out there and buy you a piece of a Bitcoin. You don't have to buy the whole thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Go in there and just spend, like, you got paid, buy $50 in Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Then you get paid next week, buy another $50 in Bitcoin. You get paid the next week, buy you another $50 in Bitcoin. Keep doing that, and before long, you have $1,000 in Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. $2,000 of Bitcoin. And like every time you start going back and looking at it, you're going to be able to going to buy you $50 more of Bitcoin. You're going to be like, how do I keep getting more money? Like it's going to be coming out of nowhere because the value of Bitcoin's going up. Mm-hmm. Right? So say you go and you buy that $50. The next week you come back, it might say like, $57, right? Because it grew, right? Mm-hmm. So you go and you drop another $50 on it, and now it's 107, right? You come back next week, it's say it's $121 now. Oh, yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's exponentially going to grow. The more you put on it, the quicker it's going to grow. Mm-hmm. And then the more you get and the closer you get to it, man, that's the way that you have to do it. I'm trying to teach you guys how to budget. This is Dad Influence. You guys might have kids or whatever, and you might want to save money for college. Don't save money for college in a fucking jar or something somewhere. That's a pointless endeavor. It won't be worth shit by the time they get to college. Put that money in Bitcoin, put it in a stock, put it in something. Mm-hmm. It won't be worth anything. You can't just put money in a hole. Our money is not money. You have to turn it into money, whether it be an asset of some sort or whatever. And when I say asset, a car is not an asset in this argument.
No, well, debatably. Because you also got the trade.
5 cars of the good ones are going to appreciate in value.
No,
it's depreciating in value. It's the same reason why money is a bad investment. You can say the same thing about
the collector market.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm saying money is a bad investment because it trends down in value. Yeah. Most cars trend down in value. Well, buying a bunch of cars is not a good investment.
No, when I hear buying a bunch of cars, I think it's a guy who has like some rarities. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that'd be the only reason I would.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. You can do that in certain cars. You can do that if you found a good deal. You could flip it, stuff like that. But you have to actually know what you're doing.
I'm not talking
about that. I'm talking about people do know how to do that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's something a completely a different thing. But I'm saying that when I say assets here, I'm not talking about cars.
All right. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
I'm talking about homes. I'm talking about things that are sure bets that are going to appreciate in value.
The more you talk about, I've been in a lot of groups who have something like that already, like Yu-Gi-Oh. Magic the Gathering.
That's the one too. That's some of that shit appreciates in value. You can buy it and you can hold it, and then later on, if you can sell it for a higher value, then guess what that means?
Yeah.
That means it's better than $1.
I got some comics like that. I got mint condition comics like that.
Right, like I said, if you bought a comic for $5 and now it's worth $500,000, it was a better store of value than the $5 you gave them for it.
You know, like those variant.
Because if you'd have took that same $5 at that time and put it in a bank, what would it be worth now? Yeah. Would it be worth the same amount of labor it took for you to get that $5 back then?
No.
You see what I'm saying? Not even just the inflation of that, the inflation of value in your own labor.
I have comics that say like 15 cents on them and shit. If you look them up, they're like worth like $10 or something like that now. So that's how it really is. It's better. It makes sense.
Do you see how I'm excited? I just explained how money works to everybody. So I tried to dumb it down.
Yeah.
If there was anything that I said that was really confusing,
you
guys can email us.
But I'm a retard, so I can't say.
But that. Tell me what was confusing to you, because you're kind of helpful on that to the listeners.
I was just trying to see mainly.
But what you were talking about with the multiple currencies, that kind of thing would probably happen if we were to go to a cryptocurrency situation.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's what I was trying to get.
If we went to a solidly cryptocurrency situation, I don't think everyone would just use Bitcoin.
No, because
I think there would be several different kinds.
Because I was thinking about this, because Burger King has their own coin now. You know what I mean? I was thinking like, so if I buy this many Burger King coins, because I eat at Burger King all the fucking time, it's something like that, I wouldn't have to bring like money or anything. I can just pay with that or something like that.
Right.
All right. That's all I was trying to get.
So, and the thing is if it was, let's use that as an example. Mm-hmm. Say you have that Burger King coin, right? Yeah. Say Burger King coins got really kind of big, right? So the U.S. government decided we're going to endorse Burger King coins, right? And you had to use Burger King coins to shop anywhere. Right? So if you did that, then it would cause an inflation of value just because people had to buy Burger King coins. Even if they had other coins, right? Yeah. Even if you just said that they didn't say you couldn't have anything else. Yeah. They just said if you want to buy something, you have to use Burger King coins. Right? Yeah. Say that happened, is my point. This is basically what's going on with the oil petrodollar.
Because, hear me out, but like, why do we need the feds for this shit?
I don't think we do.
Why do we need scales?
This is why people are talking about ending the Fed. Because the Fed is maintaining the inflationary policy. The Fed is the one that's printing this money. The Fed is the one that is doing all of this. And the Fed is ran by who? The big banks. Yeah. Go look it up. Yeah, these people are literally going, oh, we need to do this. It's a great thing. It's so we can say these... It's crazy, dude. Like, these are literally big bankers.
Because, like, for real, we don't... I'm not a pure fucking fuck the whole government. We don't need them and shit because we're gonna need some type of fucking order. You know what I mean? We're gonna need some type of guy. We can collectively go to help fix shit. You know what I mean? And some avenues.
Nah, probably not.
And some.
Probably not.
And some.
Probably not.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably not.
I mean, they're still gonna.
Most likely not.
Maybe, but yeah, hear me out. Man.
Even then, not.
I'm just. No, I'm saying is there's a lot of things we could just do for ourselves. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things we just implement for ourselves and shit. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's like that whole thing we're talking about and shit. It's like we're gonna have that whole pirate fucking pot. You know what I mean? We get paid and stuff. We put this amount into the business with some stuff we need for our podcast. You get what I mean? And I think we need to implement more of that into it.
But that's kind of the whole Austrian economics idea that I was explaining to you earlier. It's kind of like look at it from an individual centric point of view. Mm-hmm. You know, the economy is ran by people. You know what I mean?
It's a good example. You see it. It's right around the fucking corner of your neighborhood all the time.
What's that?
You see the basketball team right out there with an upside down sign saying "car wash" to support the basketball team or the local school.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's just like that. We already do it. It's just we don't. You get what I mean? We don't do it more frequently enough. We kind of send our money, trusting into people who we want them to put money into, but they don't.
Right, and that's kind of what I'm saying is we're eliminating the middleman, right? It's kind of like the point I've made it so much is like back in the day, there was so many things that were going on that needed our attention, and it was hard to figure it all out.
Yeah.
So it kind of actually made sense to have some kind of centralized figure like a king or some kind of government to figure out where the money needed to go.
But you know what those
right?
motherfuckers
right now we have GoFundMe's. We have things like that. We don't really need
you motherfucker. It would be.
We don't really need money to go where we don't need somebody to tell us where the money goes.
Yeah, because you know what
like,
we have.
You know what I'm saying? Because back in the day, you before you had the state do it, you had the church do it.
But
you would tithe, and then the church would take care of all the poor people that needed help. But they would give money to the orphanage. They would give money to, you know what I'm saying? But that's what it was. And then when the state took over those things, they started putting giant gold crosses on top of the church. Yeah. Not that they didn't do it beforehand, but they just did more of that.
Yeah.
But then you have, and the state took over that and said, hey, we'll take care of all the crazy people and all the orphans and do all that. And then they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas, in my opinion, it's like you have your nonprofits, you have GoFundMes, you have things like that. You have a way to get these things funded.
We have those poor motherfuckers that didn't have internet.
Right, and that's exactly what I'm saying. We can communicate with each other, hey, there's a need over here. And people can say, hey, there's a need over there. I can give to that need over there.
Yeah.
And to me, I don't think we need these guys to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And the same problem you had with the church that you have with the state is that they all take a fee in getting the help to where it needs to be.
I believe a lot of things should be done over the internet nowadays.
I really do too.
Yeah, I say jury duty and shit. Just have a live stream of it on Twitch.
Right.
I mean, like that nigga's guilty. Like one in chat for guilty, 2 in chat for not guilty.
And F in the chat to pay respects.
No, you can't have the chat live. You be seeing some crazy shit.
Yeah.
What else you want to talk about?
I don't know, man. I mean, I think I've gone over a lot of the situation with the money.
Yeah.
How the whole thing works. That's why the capital gains tax, like I said, that's the thing, man. That unrealized capital gains tax that they're proposing currently. That's why that's actually for the rich.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize it because, people are like, well, they're only talking about, the richest people. It's like, no,
Yeah.
you're creating a downturn.
Yeah.
That can be capitalized on by even richer people.
Yeah. I don't know. I think focusing on just attacking the rich isn't really going to help much.
Well,
like I believe
the thing about the situation is though, is that if you dismantle the situation in the way that it's unfair, it will seem like attacking the rich because a lot of the stuff is set up in a way that favors certain people.
Yeah.
So if you attack the system that favors certain people to a system that's equal, it will look like you're attacking the favor.
Yeah.
You're going to have to, and it really will be, because you are kind of taking, if you're taking away the favoritism, you are kind of attacking that person.
I mean, yeah, but that's not what I mean by attack.
Right.
That's just.
But like I said, if everything was even and perfect and fair, I honestly think that there's nothing wrong with somebody being rich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you were to get if the system was set up in the way that it was supposed to be, right, in the way that advocates say the system is.
Yeah.
If it was set up in that way, I honestly do agree that there would be nothing wrong with somebody being a millionaire, billionaire, or whatever. Yeah. Because you would have had to provide that much good for society to get to that amount of money.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I believe that like I just really believe you need like it's for more than just money, money wise. I feel like if we focus on laws and regulations and how those laws fuck the poor and shit, instead of just finding one specific enemy for it, it'll have a better outcome. You know what I mean? Specifically saying that it's just this group of people's problems and shit is not. It's kind of counterproductive. Because at the end of the day, if you just want to take one group of people out that situation without actually fixing that situation itself, you're going to leave it open for someone else. You know what I mean? Yeah. You see it. But this man's looking at stocks while we're trying to close out.
Hey man, I'm trying to make sure I got my investments popping.
I got some money, but I'm still broke ass. What? You got any stocks people should invest in?
No, dog, I can't legally give financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But I can tell you that, which means that, like I said, nothing that I've said in this should be construed as financial advice, because I'm technically not a financial advisor, and legally you could, no. I'm not giving financial advice, but I am kind of giving financial advice.
Yeah. But we're not professionals.
Yeah, we're definitely not professionals.
We're kind of idiots.
We're kind of idiots, and it's good for you to do your own research when it comes to what stocks and what not to put things into.
Hey man, I'm just saying, I was held back in the first grade, so taking my shit with a grain of salt.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the thing I would say is cryptocurrency is pretty good in certain coins. Do your research on which ones to do. Long-term stocks, a good idea is to invest in things that give you high dividend yields. Look into that. Look into what stocks have high dividend yields, and I would go for that kind of stuff because, like I said, if you're trying to use it as a store for like money, as we've talked about today, dividend yields are really good too because you're getting almost a guaranteed deflation of your asset, which is good. You know, you're going to get a where your the value of your asset's going to go up, and it's going to cost more of the dollars to get that asset from you. So because of that, when you have to use, so what basically you should be doing, in my opinion, is using only cash as an intermediate asset. So like when you need to spend it, you just turn it into fiat for a second and then spend it. But if you're storing it, it's probably not good to store it in a bank or something like that.
I'm gonna give my kids stock.
Yeah, like I said, if you're trying to save money for your kids' college, I really think that's the route to go.
Stock.
Yeah, that's the route to go. It's part of the reason I have a lot of my stocks. It's because it's a good way to save money for anything, you know.
Yes.
You know, why would you save something with an interest rate in a bank with like 0.5% when you can get like 8% dividend?
I learned about myself through some fucking neckbeard on the internet. I didn't learn this shit in school. School didn't teach me shit.
But you can get an 8% dividend yield, or you can get a 0.5% or some shit from your bank, or 0.05.
Like after what, like a year or some shit? No, not even that. Fucking like I think the best one I heard was like a year.
Yeah. So you get ripped off kind of on your yields from the bank, and it ends up where it's not even worth it.
Yeah. Or you can't build from the bank.
Right.
But if you invest in that bank.
Right. But if you were to invest in that bank stock, you'd probably be better off than actually putting your money in the bank.
It's like this, man. It's like this, bro. Just look at all the places you eat, right? Like how many times you eat? Let's say you eat McDonald's like 5 times in that week, right? How about you just get you some bread and some fucking lunch meat, and all that money you wanted to spend on McDonald's, you put that in McDonald's stock. I mean, like,
let McDonald's pay you.
Oh God. Let McDonald's. You still become a fat ass eating McDonald's, but you be a rich fat ass. Like, think about that, man.
You want to make your money work for you, guys.
Think about this, and we're gonna end off on this. Do you want to be just a regular old fat ass, or do you want to be a rich fat ass? I'd rather be a rich fat ass.
I want to put it in you. That's what it is.
I want to eat your food and make money from it, motherfucker.
Right.
That's some gangster shit. You come in some motherfucker's house. You remember on Pulp Fiction? Motherfucker came in here eating his burger and shit and drinking his juice, and he came in to make extra money. Pulp Fiction, that shit. You take McDonald's Kahuna burger and shit, and you take that fucking briefcase.
You gotta get that briefcase, dog. Gotta snag that bag.
Snag that bag, man.
Snag that bag.
Oh, God. Alright. See you next week.
Alright, guys. Just make sure you're really safe with them poos. Make sure that you don't take one that's a little bit too big. Because if you take one that's a little bit too big, you can feel your butthole just slowly stretching. It's like a little razor. Like maybe you even got like nuts in the poo. And you just feel it scraping as it comes out.
I'm cutting the podcast.
Painfully.